Welcome to the Broken Sun. Welcome back, everyone, to Stories of a Broken Sun, the second season of Splinters of a Broken Sun, or other Stories of a Broken Sun podcast. I'm Matt, he, him. I'm your friendly guide here on the podcast, and we are entering Session 5. Today, I am joined by a trio of terrific individuals, and I will introduce them now. And, of course, they will then introduce themselves and their characters. First up today, we are joined by Michael Blood.
Hello, everyone. Michael Blood here. I go by Salasdreas online, but you can find me on Twitter at GoodSirBlood. For the purposes of this podcast, I play the freaky-eyed, techno-babbling Slip, who absolutely didn't kill anyone.
No, Slip did nothing wrong. And your pronouns are?
They, them, and so is Slip.
Excellent. You're also joined by Keekers.
Hi, everyone. I'm Keekers, also known as Be a Space Cat, and by my human name, Colleen. I play CD, they, them. My pronouns are she/her. And you can find me on Twitter and various other websites as Be a Space Cat.
Thank you very much. And of course, we are also joined by OG Brown Sugar, Velvet.
Hi, everyone. I'm Velvet. You can find me on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar. My pronouns are she, her. And I'm playing Augustus, who is the most moral of philanthropists on the Sun. Their pronouns are they, them.
When last we left off, it was a while ago for those of us playing on this end, you had completed a job, and that job was smuggling a mysterious package into the core. And you had seen that that package perhaps appeared to have biosigns in it. So whether that was a decoy or not remains to be seen. You delivered that package to a person who lives in the core. She is a social media influencer with over 1 million followers. And of course, I have her name right here.
Signar Bliss.
Signar Bliss, the social media influencer.
Yes.
She was not particularly interested in having conversations or debates with you about philosophy or anything like that. She just wanted to get her job done. And your contact for the Resistance that time was the beloved actor Extreme King. Okay, so since then, unfortunately, your vehicle has been stolen. Your conveyance and also your teammate, Terry, disappeared during that mission, was perhaps in pursuit. You had some idea of where they had gone based on a code that Slip was able to partially decipher, but until then, you were to sleep in a garbage pile.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You did procure another busted truck, though, so we got that going for us. You received a message from the Vile Lance asking, basically calling in a favor, saying that they will, scratch your back if you scratch theirs, in the form of smuggling a weapons shipment away from Section Blue, which, as we may recall, are the secret police in the service of the Sun, and the home of one Whiskey Tango. Not a very important character, of course.
Absolutely trivial.
So we open on the three of you in this dump. How are things going? What's happening? It's been a few days. You've been licking your wounds.
Slip is... Oops, sorry. Go right ahead.
No, you go ahead. No.
Okay. Slip is passing their hand harmlessly through a digital fire, enjoying the goof of pretending to warm themselves by it. And then at this point, after a couple of days of just sitting in my hidey hole, I'm just absolutely ready to do something. And I think that Slip even has their goggles down, is just ready and raring to go do something.
You had something for CD?
Yes, CD has been chilling out in the back of that truck that broke down and is now their section of the garbage pile, and they've been chilling out in it inside of like a pink coffin that no one knows where it came from, but CD's just laying in it with the lid closed, like a good 22 hours of the 24-hour day.
It sounds like CD's having a rough time of it, perhaps.
Yeah, but I guess like they're putting on a cheerful disposition because it is hot Barbie pink.
How about Augustus? How's Augustus dealing with the recent setback?
They're dealing, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they returned to their office rather than go to the hidey hole just to keep up appearances. So they've most likely been working at trying to figure out what happened to Terry.
Mm-hmm. In between your attempts to get a casino opened.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you've all convened at this big pile of trash and to discuss your next move, which, as you know, is the move to smuggle some guns. Well, some type of weaponry, as far as you know, away from a powerful group of cops for a group of mercenaries.
Soldiers of fortune.
Soldiers of fortune, the Vile Lance, who sometimes help out people in the resistance and sometimes shoot them. So, that's the way things tend to go.
Yeah.
Oh, also, CD, you're still wanted for murder, and you've been attempting to find the missing backup of George Perry, the victim of that murder.
Yes, that's what CD has been doing the other 2 hours of the day when they're not in the coffin.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair.
That's the noir spin-off of Stories of a Broken Sun.
Yeah. No, he did say cyber noir.
Yep.
We did.
What's more noir than a bright pink coffin?
Literally nothing.
Things. Yeah, a few things. Okay. So, Section Blue, you know that they are the secret police, and almost all of their strongholds are heavily guarded. Despite being police, they all have like military-grade equipment and weaponry, because of course they do. They're very well funded. They are a tier 3 faction as compared to your tier 0.
No. Yeah.
For now. Oh, right. Everybody should take some time to heal 1 stress or reduce 1 of your harm by 1.
I know what I'm going to do.
The time you've been spending here.
Do I have stress or harm? I have none. It's a really interesting fact. The Mayans were the ones who invented the number 0.
That is interesting.
Well,
why are you...
Sorry, go ahead.
Does Slip know what Mayans are?
No. Not a clue.
Check.
Why are you thinking about 0?
I don't know, but I'm Mayan. Did you know that? Or was? Used to be. When I was alive. Part.
Yeah? That's...
Yeah, well,
I think I was human. That's about as much as I remember.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, more than some people can say, right?
Some people used to theorize that aliens visited the Mayans.
I mean, aliens do exist.
Yeah, but this was back when we didn't know for sure.
What kind of aliens?
Like, people used to theorize that they had these really big eyes and kind of like green skin or gray skin and really long fingers and hairless bodies.
It just pulled back on Slip's avatar for a second. Then Slip will just say, "That sounds creepy looking."
Yeah, that was the point, I think.
So, out of morbid curiosity, where's the coffin from? Because that wasn't in my hidey hole treasure pile.
I know a couple good places to get things. I mean, it's not like I stashed all of my worldly belongings on the Probable Cause or my apartment.
Right.
I also know where to find cool things, but also I know how to make stuff too.
That's true. So,
is Augustus late? How late is Augustus?
Yeah, how late is Augustus?
Fashionably so. But also, real quick, I forgot how to do the stress and harm thing.
On your character sheet?
Yeah. So my recovery is at 5 out of 6 right now.
Right. So ignore that part.
Okay.
You've got the level 2 harm broken wrist. So you can reduce that to a level 1, like tender wrist, or you can remove 1 bar of stress by clicking on it. So you'd be down to 3 stress, or you'd be down to level 1 harm, less effect, instead of level 2 harm, minus 1 die on any action that would involve your wrist.
I am tender but stressed.
Okay.
As all good things are.
True.
All right. Well, let's cut to Augustus arriving fashionably late in the midst of this conversation.
Right. And so they were really short with bulbous eyes and long fingers and gray, right?
Or green.
Green.
There was an argument. Some people theorized that there were 2 different types and that they kind of fought with each other. The greens and the grays.
Were either of them bigger?
I don't know.
Hi.
Hi, Augustus.
Hi. So,
Did you know that there used to be 2 ancient races of aliens that would fight on Mars?
I don't
Told
know
you
if they
that.
lived on Mars. No, I don't know if they lived on Mars, and I don't know if they ever actually existed. Those were just theories.
Oh, I was getting really invested.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll find my little green man someday.
I'm sure you will. And then CD pats Slip, but like not like a normal way, just kind of like almost like they're waving their hand.
Air pats.
Just fan you off really quick.
No, they're actually coming in contact with Slip's body, but it's like
God, I love CD. How's the search out for Terry going?
Fruitless. I know where they're not.
well, they're always the last place you look.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So I do
So you've
have
got that job.
we do
You do
have
have a job.
we do Terry or not, probable cause or not. We do kind of owe the Violence a favor, and I don't want to be shot at by 2 different groups in the city on site anyway.
Good
I like
point.
that it's a very proactive thinking.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Right.
Let's
And
go
hey,
not get shot at.
yeah. Okay. Perfect. I love the plan. So, Matt, did we have? Were we supposed to go meet with a Violence representative, or did we have coordinates already?
They have sent you some information. It will be up to you to figure out the rest.
Perfect.
The information you have is that there is a shipment of weapons being held somewhere. They have times and dates. They have partial pieces of information. You know that it's being held somewhere in the which system is it in? Hold on. In the inner systems. So this is a pretty big favor they're asking you, seeing as you're at 7 heat in the inner systems, the
Whoa.
inner layer rather.
I was gonna say we are in a dangerous way over there.
Yeah. So you're at the inner, they have information that it's being held in the inner layer. So it is at a building somewhere in the inner layer. They have the general area. It looks like they have a couple of blocks worth of area. They know it's being held there. They're not exactly sure where, but it's in a secure building. And they know that the guard, obviously it'll be under guard, but they think there will be less guard on it than usual in the next, like tomorrow night.
All right. So got less than a day to move on this.
Okay, so yeah, we don't much heat. So the best way we can kind of not draw attention would be like stealth or disguises.
Yeah, I think we cut it really close with disguises last time, and I don't want a repeat of the Lieutenant Fine situation.
We need disguises and a distraction.
I know a few guys
Oh, I was going to say, how about a party float?
that might be a bit more high key than I'm hoping.
Okay, then. I'll save that idea for later.
I'm sure exploding party float will come up at some point.
Oh no, I was just thinking that we would like be driving down, throwing candy. I wasn't saying it would actually explode.
Oh, right. Don't need to.
Are you sure you're not getting me confused with Crate?
Well, you do, so you look alike. You both.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
It's the gunboy
don't.
patches.
It's the gumboy patches. You're covered in them.
I am?
On your back.
CD is like starts turning in a circle, trying to look at their back.
Like I was saying, I do know somebody who might be interested in helping us run this job. We'd owe him a favor. But I can always count on Whiskey Tango hating me. And so if I let it slip to him that I'm going to be somewhere going after something, he'll show up. Well, I think he'll really want to bring me in this time. It's just things are really ramping up between the two of us. I think it's going to come to a head soon.
What if you made a bunch of masks on your face and gave them to a bunch of different people?
Like that movie.
The Mask.
The Mask. Right. Where what's the name of that god CD? The lying one. With the mask.
There's a couple of those.
CD's like,
You've asked me a very difficult question.
yeah, CD is still like stops spinning and their eyes kind of move back and forth, spinning a bit like a Magic 8 Ball thing.
Yes.
And they're kind of like,
later.
yeah. I have no idea.
All right. Well,
I think you're thinking of Loki.
Right. Low key. That's exactly what we have to be.
Oh, was Loki
Hey.
in the mask?
I think so. What were you talking about?
Distracting.
Classic misdirection.
Right.
Yeah, Whiskey Tango. not
Right.
tame.
I think
Wait.
we can distract some of the muscle for Section Blue if we go a bit with a high profile distraction. Media, Whiskey Tango, cruisers.
I know someone who, if we pay them, part of like a little bit would pretend to be you.
Might this someone be the resident beef boy?
Yes, exactly.
Not that I have a high regard for Whiskey Tango's intelligence, but
Fair.
Slip is not a beef boy.
Very true. I am the opposite, like a vegan noodle.
Noodle boy.
Most noodles are vegan, I think.
I don't remember the last time I had a noodle.
Can you remind me of what Whiskey Tango does aside from like be the Wile E. Coyote to Skip's Roadrunner? Slip. Sorry, I'm thinking of Flight Risk.
I mean, I also skip away.
Whiskey Tango is like a lieutenant in the Sun's secret police services. So he's like a super cop. He's also kind of a
Dredd.
He's like a Judge Dredd type figure. He's a bit of a folk hero. People fear and respect him when they see him. They make way. He's got a really glowing Wikipedia page, all that stuff. Well, he used to have a really glowing Wikipedia
He
page.
used to have a really glowing Wikipedia page till I falsified where he was born.
There's some edit wars going on in the comments right now of the Wikipedia page for Whiskey Tango, Lieutenant Section Blue.
The Wiskipedia.
The Whiskipedia.
That's the fan page.
He's the public face of the secret police, which is, I know how ridiculous
Yeah.
that sounds.
But it's the Sun.
That's what he is. Yeah, the secret police are considered a good thing. It's like people here who are like, you know who's great? The CIA.
It'd be crazy if someone said that. It'd be crazy if we have to be thankful for the diversity of the CIA. Like a high profile
woman CIA agents.
Yeah. I love gender diversity in my oppression.
Now I'm just thinking
that's
about
him.
the early days of the FBI, which was actually a little bit fun. History-wise, the Pinkertons.
Oh, well.
It's just
That
fun.
is a fun... That's interesting, yeah.
They did hate unions.
I'm not saying they were good. I just mean they're interesting.
Interesting is different. No, I
They're
hear you.
historically an interesting group. That's for
Yes,
certain.
that's what I say. That's what I mean when I say fun.
No, for sure. I balk at any mention of them, but I apologize.
It's okay.
Okay, so
Yes.
you should start like figuring out some information about the stuff. Maybe find out where it actually is, what's going on there. Find some information so you can plan this heist. What are we going to do?
I have a very convoluted idea, if you will indulge me.
Of course.
I'm thinking of maybe, getting some of our Vox Populi and labor folk to stage like a big protest around the area, or at least as close to as we can find out to where they're actually keeping the shipment, and maybe go with having them all wear like slip masks. And then, I'm sure the secret police will be wondering, how these folks knew where the shipment was held. So if we can surface discord using our contacts, but then also maybe make Whiskey start thinking there's a mole and freak them out a bit.
Sounds
I love
ambitious.
the idea. I don't know that we have the timetable for something like that.
Also fair.
I would say the only other issue is the fact that a lot of those people may not be able to even make it into the core area, because I'm all for maybe starting a protest somewhere that Section Blue would attend. I'm just thinking that it wouldn't probably be able to happen there.
You can get to the inner layer. It's the core that's walled off.
Okay.
Going to the inner layer would really be like going down to Wall Street or the rich areas. You can go there even if you don't quote unquote belong there. You'll just get, hassled.
Yup.
Yeah, but the other question I have is is this technically in the core or still like in the inner?
Outside the core.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the like the gated communities just outside of the border wall of the core.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I've got this picture in my head that the core is like a gated community that you have to go to the toll booth to get into. But around it, like if we're going to use the analogy of where I live, it's like, this is the village. You need to go to the gate, but you can go to the square nearby.
Right.
Word.
It's sort of like, imagine there's a castle, right? And there's a castle. The castle is the core. And then around the castle, there's the rich people. And then the further out you get, the less nice it is.
Right.
Okay,
That's where
but
we
I
live.
like my village's analogy.
No, you're right too.
because it's modern day and it's close to home, and it's a bunch of old rich people.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid.
White.
And we're not going to blow up the sun.
Well, maybe not today. Who knows what the future may bring.
That's on my to-do list. Besides the parade float.
Right. Well,
That's obviously after we do the parade float. It's number 1, parade float. Number 2, blow up the sun.
So how do we want to go about finding out more information?
I think I'm going to turn to my smuggling contact.
Okay. Remind us of your smuggling contact. That is Higgins.
That is Higgins. He's a filthy scoundrel.
He sure is.
Higgins.
Have we had Higgins on screen before?
I believe I've mentioned him in passing, but I don't believe that we've had him on screen.
Does
Okay.
Higgins have like an undercut with like a little ponytail and longer hair?
Yes. Go on.
Yay.
Help me describe this character that I'm going to be forced to describe.
Brown hair,
Yep. Okay. Perfect. These
Um,
I love these ideas I'm coming up with.
younger looks, has like some sort of weird hoverboard thing.
Oh no! Wait a second. We've gone into the depths of Frog the Bounty Hunter once again.
No! That's not who I'm
Higgins has a bowl
referencing.
cut.
Higgins has a bowl cut. That's so much worse. Okay.
Wait.
And I'm just trying to do Jim from Treasure Planet.
I realize that now. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was it Vile Lance or the Die Hard Battalion that contacted you last time?
Oh, I was gonna go with whatever you told me because I have no idea.
Pretty sure it was
geez.
Violence.
I'm good with some names, but not all names.
Because if it was the Die Hard Battalion, I would remember there would be all the Bruce Willis references.
Good point.
Okay, well, we'll assume, and viewers will have to forgive us for the fact that I did not write this down. I just have a note here that says Scanline Cruise from the Die Hard Battalion, and I don't know when that's from.
I don't know.
Oh, well,
That's actually a spoiler, Matt.
probably not. I'm sure it's come up. All right, so good. You're getting in touch with Higgins.
Yep. I'm going to see what the hubbub is, what the skinny is on the bebop.
Where do you meet Higgins?
At a local net cafe where people watch simulated robot boxing instead of the real
Okay.
robot boxing, which is way too violent for people to enjoy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we only simulate the violence.
So Higgins, sorry, did you mention what Higgins was wearing when you were totally describing him all by yourself?
So it's crazy how I said that Higgins wore coveralls like a janitor, but a space janitor.
Okay.
Wait, is
So-
it yellow, red, or green?
I like yellow.
Okay, so we're doing the remake MST coverall.
Of course.
Okay, so he's waiting for you in a corner booth at the Net Cafe. He's got in the sim. He's wearing his yellow coveralls. You can see they've got patches all over them. Only one Gumboy patch. The rest are other stuff.
Word.
And,
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's got his undercut, his little ponytail poking out the back of his head. Somehow, despite the fact that this is an avatar that can look however you want, he still looks kind of greasy.
Yeah, he does.
He just
Goodness.
a little gangly. He's got sharp edges where there shouldn't be, and you know all that. And yeah, I think he's got those eyes that, like, if this were an anime, his eyes would just be like little dots
Oh, for
inside
sure.
inside the large. You know, you'd have the full eyes and just little dots because you know how it is.
Oh,
Heavy lids, little dots.
I thought you meant
Yup.
like the ones that new character has in My Hero
No, not-
Academia.
Not My Hero Academia. More like Kai Shiden from Gundam.
Oh, I was gonna
Ah.
say, or like Krillin from DBZ.
No, these are the untrustworthy eyes. The eyes are normal size. The pupils are very small.
I think you're
Okay.
typecasting him as a filthy scoundrel.
Yeah, pretty much. I put a picture in the hub chat for you.
Okay, yeah. So that's like a
Oh,
little bit
Oh, he's a
smaller
bad guy.
and with white. There's
He's
actually
not
white.
a bad guy. He's just a little slimy.
Dirty. He's a little slimy. Do not
And
Little
hate
slimy.
him.
a ne'er-do-well of a high caliber.
Oh.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he looks up. He's got both of his arms like spread out over the backs of the couch. It's one of those rounded couch booths. There's a round table in the
Ooh,
middle and a semicircle of couches around it. You know, the couches look fine. It's just shiny vinyl in red. So he's given a bit of a Ronald McDonald vibe with his bright yellow jumpsuit against that. He gestures you over.
Higgins, my friend, how are we doing?
Hey, Slip, great to see ya. It's been a while.
It's been several minutes, at least.
He pretends to look at a watch. There isn't one there, but he pretends anyway. Yeah, whole lot of minutes. Now, how can I help you today? You caught me at a good time. I've been making a lot of money on the bets today.
Fantastic. The fight's going your way? Wink, wink.
He gives you a wink back, but like a real slow wink.
Oh.
Like,
oh my. Cooking the books.
I wouldn't cook anything in this joint.
That's fair. It has a C+. I slide down next to Higgins.
Those are simulated dead cockroaches there.
Yeah, that's high quality dead cockroach.
Yeah, it's like in the Matrix. Agent Smith explained, we made a perfect utopia and your minds rejected it. The Sims got to have rough edges.
Yeah.
Yo, it's got to be bad for the roach to be dead.
It's a filthy place and I love it here. So
he looks at you expectantly.
Come up on an interesting order. Thought you might know something about it. Thought you might want a little cheese on your plate.
He gives you a little grin and he does like a little mousing like,
And I chuckle, but I'm a little alarmed.
I have to just say that somewhere like some far distance away, the sleeping Kevin twitches in her sleep because he mentioned cheese.
We're awakening the sleeper.
Achoo. Tell me all about this cheese.
Right, so it's
a real stinky one.
Oh, this is aged and sharp.
Nice. I like a good blue.
Absolutely. We're talking about the point of a lance.
He gives you another wink to show that he understands.
And I know you like blue, so I thought I'd get you something very blue.
A section of blue, you may say. A fine selection.
I might be interested.
Interesting.
What do you need?
Information. We know where it is, roughly. Thought you might be able to put the feelers out for me in exchange for a little quid pro quo.
Well, my friend. You want information? You come to the right place. Just let me see what my going rates are at the moment. He flips open a notebook, one of those spiral-bound flip books. And he licks his finger and starts going down a list.
As if his finger weren't wet enough already.
It's probably a little wet. Do you want to make me a roll here?
Sure.
See what kind of information you can get him to come up with. What do you think this is? What type of action are you performing?
I want to call this a sway, chatting up my friends.
Well, chatting up your friends is normally consort.
Yep.
You could do this this way, but it would be like lesser effect.
I think we'll try and shoot for consort then.
Okay. So this is just a controlled standard. It's basically a fortune roll with your consort rating.
Got it. The first roll is a 3. The first roll of the night is a 3, everyone.
Yep, there we go. We're off to a normal start.
That's me. Slip.
Yep. He says, yeah. Now, based on what you told me about this location, very interesting. Every year there's a ball. You heard about this? You heard about the law enforcement ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, they celebrate all the coppers. They all get together. They all pat each other on the back about what a good job they're doing. There's one in this part of the neighborhood going down tomorrow.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Now, what else is interesting about this is sometimes these balls aren't quite what they seem. If you know what I mean.
Sure.
But unfortunately, at the moment, that's really all I can offer.
And this ball was happening around the corner?
It's in the area. You gave me a general area. In this general area, there's going to be a ball, a law enforcement's ball. Real fancy digs. Now, I can offer you another very exciting opportunity.
I am interested in opportunities.
And he turns and he looks up, and there's like a old TV screen with a little crack in the corner that's hanging above the edge of the booth. Now, you see this bot that's coming out.
Yeah.
I think, if you were to ask me, maybe a good time to see what this one's made of. Might be willing to take a few bets for you if you want to see if you can try your luck.
I think you've caught me at an interesting time then.
Oh?
I don't have any money on me, but I can get money.
Well, when you got money on you, maybe then we'll talk more. But for now, watch and learn, he says, and he looks up at the screen. It seems like he's expecting you to stay and watch this bot fight with him, but that'll take time. So it's up to you to decide.
I'll sit through like a round or two.
Okay.
And then excuse myself.
These bots are boxing. It's simulated. It's like you're watching a video game, basically. Mm-hmm. I don't know who would want to watch a video game on the internet.
That would be insane if people just spent hours and hours watching other people play games.
There's commenters.
And
talking about what's happening in the simulation. Ridiculous.
I mean, there's no way this could be a multi-million-dollar product.
Yeah,
No,
if,
of
Truly
course
the
not.
darkest timeline.
if you could point me to someone making many millions of dollars playing games and talking about it, I'd love to speak to them for a
Mhm.
friend.
I meant just multi-million-dollar in general, like as a whole.
There are people definitely making multi.
In general, like everyone
So
adding
there's
up to that million. Got it.
There's two robots. They're very different shapes. One of them is like a big crab person. So they got like a crab, but with human legs as one of their sets of legs.
Ooh, oh,
Crab
no.
people.
It's upsetting, but it's robotic. It's a little bit like, imagine like a PlayStation 1 era graphics is sort of like what you're looking at.
Oh,
A PlayStation
Uncrab-
1 crab, but you add human legs to it. That's this one.
Uncrabby Valley, man.
No, like
So
I
that
was at
one's-
first imagining crab meat from Sonic, but no.
That's not this. It's not
So
that
much
nice.
worse. So much worse.
This is something that's clearly running like in a dark corner of the Sims processors that nobody's looking at. It's not exactly high quality. So you've got the blue crab person, and then there's a red robot boxer that's got more of a like a rhinoceros look.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a, what is it? Which one's the rhinoceros? Bebop or Rocksteady? It's like that one, but let's see.
I think it's Rocksteady.
That would make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What
How
animal
about
is
Rocksteady
Bebop?
is a cool ass name.
Actually,
Bebop
it
is
is-
the rhinoceros.
actually,
we
it is
talking
exactly 10 years today that I watched 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies in a row, and I know this because of Facebook memories.
Hey. Sponsor.
Yeah, so this is, I guess Bebop is like sort of like, again, a PS1 era rendition of Bebop, but entirely red.
I love
And
that.
they're punching at each other, and the rhino one seems to have the upper hand because he actually has hands. He's able to punch
Gosh.
at the crab and so
Oh my
on, and grapple with them. But over time, it seems that the crab is taking on this rain of blows and the grappling. And even though a couple of its arms have cracked off, it eventually lands just a huge blow with one of its pincers. And the rhinoceros's head pops up whoop, on top of a longer neck. And then it collapses. And it's like a dollar sound. You hear like a cash register cha-ching, cha-ching sound. And Higgins happily checks his little communicator. And he's like, it's the kind of action you could be getting. He turns it around. You see that he's just made 2 cred off that.
Oh my God. Well, I think if I don't die, I'll be back.
Hey, always happy to see you, buddy.
Always happy.
Good luck with that blue cheese.
Thank you. And if I can get a whole wheel, my friends always get a slice.
He gives you another one of those distressing winks.
I know I'm a simulation, but I still wipe my hands on my trousers.
Digital sanitization.
Yep.
Okay. You got a bit more information now.
I have information. You're welcome, everyone. Clearly, we know what we're doing now.
You know that this is happening in the area, perhaps.
Ooh, party. And CD's like, so it sounds like the parade float might still be back on.
Funnily enough, it's possible that there are going to be balloons, at least.
What about balloon animals?
Almost certainly. I can tell you that there will be pigs.
Wink.
Hey.
So does anyone want to do any more digging, or are you happy with the information you've got?
I would love if someone did something else.
So we know that there's a party going on at the same time, and I forgot my cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Can gather
I would
information.
definitely love to dig. I'm just trying to think of what else I could dig up aside from like getting us access to the party.
Oh,
That would probably help.
I hadn't thought about just going.
That's an option.
Just showing my extremely wanted face.
I
Got to
mean,
learn more about this party.
guys. I think I'll snoop around and try to figure out who will be in attendance, and if possible, get an invite.
Okay.
You should ask Crate.
I don't know if Crate is invited.
I don't think Crate's invited
But
to the
he's like,
lawmakers' ball.
but you
Or,
said
sorry,
it was,
the law enforcement ball.
yeah, well, he's a merc for hire, and he's a beef boy.
Mercenaries don't count in this case.
Okay.
Unless they have a badge that says that they're employed by the government.
Hey-o.
He definitely has a badge, but it just says Gumboy on it.
He might have pilfered those badges from corpses.
He's got a number of gym badges.
Yep.
God almighty. Yes, he does.
Okay. So you're just going through your regular list of fancy ass contacts to see what you can shake out of a tree.
It's like a holographic
Yes.
Rolodex.
Okay. This is probably
I'll pose
consort.
as an investor.
This is probably a consort roll. We'll roll it and see how far you're able to get with your consort there.
Roll more than a 3, my friend.
I'll
Ideally,
try.
that would be, yeah.
We have gotten by on failing through the mission, though.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Wait.
Am I controlled, I imagine?
Yeah, you can also just do a fortune roll with your consort rating. Either one is fine. It'd be controlled standard, or you just do. Okay, sorry to all of the screaming TMNT fans. Rocksteady is the rhinoceros.
Yeah, I was going. I didn't want to correct you, so
Please
because
correct me when I get something this
I-
important wrong, Keekers.
I did say it
can't
was
believe-
Rocksteady.
I
did
can't believe
say
how
I
crazy
think it's
Chad is getting.
Rocksteady. I told you. I said I think it's Rocksteady, and then you just went ahead and said
Well,
Bebop.
How could
That's
you?
my bad. I apologize to all the half shell heroes out there.
I mean, a big part of Stories of a Broken Sun is riling up the different fandoms. You know what you're getting into.
Basically all we do.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of riling things up, you did roll a 6 on that.
That did actually happen. God bless.
Yeah. All right. I think that you are able to shake out a lot of good information about this party here. So yes, this is the fancy law enforcement ball. It happens every year. It's been going on for 300 some odd years, as long as the sun's been around. Whoever's not in hibernation that cycle comes out and gets feted as all the great stuff that they were doing, and controlling the homeless population that somehow exists in an entirely mechanical society, and ensuring that the inner and mid and core layers are kept completely safe from incursion, and so on and so forth. All the great work that's going on here. So this is high-end fancy stuff, and you will be, if you go there, it will be in the sim. Nobody wants to be walking around, with a bunch of visibly mechanical bodies at a party there. So it will be in the sim. Your avatar is required to have a certain amount of all right. So basically, your avatar will be scanned when you arrive, and if your accessories don't cost enough, you're not allowed in.
Okay.
Also, you'll have to have a mask.
Stealing makeover.
Could be. So it's a masquerade ball.
Are you present, Augustus, when you learn this information?
Yeah, I'm posing as an important investor when I
Okay.
schmooze.
So what sort of party are we talking about?
It's one of those very self-important masquerade balls. I also found that.
Sorry, CD has their fingers crossed and is like whispering under their breath, "Please let there be balloon animals. Please let there be balloon animals. Please let there be balloon animals."
Don't think there will be balloon animals.
Ah.
Not even one.
I don't think so. I'm sorry.
This is
I
devastating.
wouldn't lie to you. Also,
Slip just
caveats
laughs out loud.
is that they will scan our avatars and we have to hit a certain capital threshold to be allowed in.
So I have to ditch the parka.
If you want to up the eccentricity, I think as long as you've got a lot of glitz and glamour on top of the parka, you'll be okay.
Would you happen to have a diamond encrusted parka fob
Mm.
available for me, possibly?
I have a glittering baubles, but nothing that specific style. I wouldn't dare tread on
Ooh.
your aesthetics.
Yes.
I have an idea.
I'd love to hear it.
Sometimes I like to look at stuff online on auctions, gently used things, and I saw these really neat glasses. And CD pulls out a data pad and goes through their 100 different tabs because CD
Oh,
is that
no.
person. Until they come
Oh,
up with,
no. That you hoard
these-
everything.
oh, that is CD to a T or to a D.
You're muted, Matt.
You're muted.
You're completely muted. I just thought it was like complete silence. Just like I don't know.
I don't know
what to
about that
say.
phrase. Do we really want to go with to a D?
Oh, I see what you're
Oh.
saying.
It's just, I'm not
Okay.
sure about that.
To
Vitamin
the
D is-
C.
Vitamin D is very important. We need to go outside.
Yeah. This fits
The irony of us needing
C.
vitamin D on the sun.
Listen, I don't have any skin.
Everyone needs vitamin C at least. But
That
okay,
is true.
CD offers this like data pad with this tab of one of hundreds to show Slip, and I don't know if you wanted to describe what they are.
What do you need a toupee for? Why are you even
wrong
looking
one.
at hair pieces?
Wrong one.
Is that a lawn gnome? What's a lawn gnome?
It's a little friend you could put on your lawn.
We don't have lawns.
No one has lawns.
So, and then CD clicks to another tab.
Is that a gramophone?
Yes.
Like they have in that simulated speakeasy?
Yeah, it's really cool. Do you guys really need to judge what I like to look at?
Listen, I live in actual garbage, so
I would
I'm
judge you
just-
regardless, but this is just excessive.
CD keeps on furiously clicking. It's like, okay, there you go. These.
those are tickets to a swan ride.
No, it's not. Slip. The joke's
Sorry.
getting old.
Okay. I tug at my virtual collar.
I can't get no respect.
I get no respect. Hey.
But do you want me to describe what we talked about?
Those are some of the most magnificent pairs of spectacles I've ever seen in my life.
I know. CD like
Oh my god.
caresses the screen.
You can get fobs for those for our avatar, or are these physical? Because I don't know how that's gonna. I'd love to have them just on my bot body.
I mean, they're from when people had eyes, but you can see down here, and CD switches, that someone has altered them so that they're also going on your avatar.
It's like the selection between hardcover and Kindle.
Right.
Yeah, it's the package deal.
You can get the online version. Right. So, okay, that's one thing. One whole cred?
I don't know if it would actually be a whole cred. Would it are for bicolor Kamina classes?
So here's the thing. You can't afford the capital level of these
No.
outfits.
I can steal
Even
it.
if you combine all of your cred, you wouldn't be able to without bankrupting yourselves as a group. So, I mean, you if you want to bankrupt yourselves to get one-use items, basically, or I mean, you'll keep them. You'll always have those spectacles.
I'll always have the Kamina glasses.
Yeah, but that'll be all you have, and everything else will kind of fall apart. You can do that,
All right, hear me
or
out.
you can find another way.
What if we just dress up the avatars and whatever extra fobs Augustus might have hanging around, and we spoof the register? I'm sure I could do that.
I mean, I have some of my own clothes.
Are they clean?
They're virtual. Of course they're clean.
Data can get corrupted in a pile.
Look, I may have a lot of stuff, but I make sure it's all kept meticulously clean, Slip. If you had gone to the back of the truck, you would note that.
It is all in just that box. It's true.
No, it's not in the box. The box is in the back of the truck, and around it is stacked, and very neat stacks of stuff. Just so everyone gets the right head picture.
I need you all to understand. It's
Now
very
you're the one
important.
living in a van down by the river.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but
We've always been garbage children.
yeah.
Would there be a way, either through, was it Veil shenanigans or general, cyber skullduggery to fool the scanners?
You can give that a shot for sure.
I can do it.
You could try to hack the scanners.
Dot
You could
hack.
try to.
I said dot hack.
Oh yeah. You could try to hack the scanners. Yeah, I mean that's as good an idea as any if you want to try it.
Well, I think that it might behoove us to say that, like, we hack the value, like, what comes up is the value of the items that we're going to go with, so that if they're read by any, like, different things, it says that they're more valuable than they are. And I was going to say, oh, I could do it, but I don't have any hack.
I could make the scanner see whatever I wanted to, or I can
Or,
try to make our clothes read differently.
yeah.
I'm a bit more heavy-handed with the. I lift my goggles up.
I could push myself and roll it as a doctor roll, but that would be using that one gambit for early.
All right, so let's think for a sec. Is this the plan you want to go with? You want to go and try to use hacking to trick the scanners and use that as your way in to this police ball, which may or may not be where these weapons are being kept. You don't know because that's not information you found yet.
It is true.
You're right. But I mean...
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying,
but
is
wearing
this the way you want to go about it?
I mean, I'm just going to say that wearing costumes would at least get us closer. But I guess the thing is, CD's move would be to study more about this place, like where the stuff is, supposedly.
I mean, you still have your shot for gather info. My vote would definitely be on this, given that our other venue might be stealth, and we are not stealthy.
No, we are not.
Very good at running away, though.
Yeah, could I... Oh, I'm not good talk.
That's fine. I fight all the time, and I'm not good at that.
I know, but I was just going to try to sway someone to help me, or, but that won't work. I could always just study what they
we
gave.
Could stake out wherever the party might be. Like, obviously, well, actually, Augustus, is the party happening within the next day?
Not to ask that specifically, but would I know that when the party is?
You both know that the party is tomorrow night. It's probably getting closer to tonight at this point.
Right, after all the footwork.
Okay.
Do you want to do a stakeout there and see what you see?
Wait, would that be skulk? Like hiding, right?
It could be study.
Okay. No, they're the same for me, but I will skulk. CD will set up a special security doohickey there to try to figure out.
It's a baby monitor.
What's what?
It's just audio.
It's the advantage of hoarding, you never know when you're going to need an old baby monitor, and here it is.
Yeah, I mean, canonically, CD had a baby, but
That's true.
Also, it's important to mention that they do make ones with video as well now, albeit it's in grayscale, but...
No, ours is full color.
Oh, yours is full color? Oh, cool. Yes, what am I rolling this? Controlled?
I think if you're setting up a spy thing, it's either going to be Skulk or Engineer, and it'll just be controlled standard if you're rolling that way.
Hold on a second, I need to click the different pip. And Kitty's here.
Wait, is Engineer? Sorry, Rig. Either Skulk or Rig.
Oh, right.
Well, I already did Skulk, so...
yeah, I mean, you can.
It's
but
risky.
Looks like that roll went through. No, it didn't go through.
No.
But you said you already did it.
No, I had clicked on it. I didn't submit it. So,
okay.
Is it risky standard as?
That's just controlled standard. It's basically a fortune roll when we're doing gather information like this. So you're just rolling 1d6.
But you rolled rig.
I know I rolled rig.
Okay, so your rig and your study are the same, and your Skulk, it's all the same anyway. So it's just 1d.
Never mind.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got a 3 there. So it doesn't mean things go badly in the gather information stage. It just means that the amount of information you get is limited. What you see from this going in and out is that there is like special services. There's some type of machine that is being set up in this building that you don't recognize. It's an unusual machine that you see. And also, you see on the footage of your camera, at some point, the camera that you've set up gets knocked over onto its side. Like you set it up in an alleyway, I'm assuming, nearby somewhere.
Does it start showing a beautiful striped cat?
No. What you see, the camera gets knocked over, and then you see a bare foot step in front of it, a human foot, and then the camera gets crushed and the feet is lost.
A bare foot, as in like no shoe?
Yeah.
What's this foot look like?
A human foot.
It is green.
It is a green foot.
Yes, it's a green foot. Yeah.
CD screenshots it and shows it to Slip and Augustus. Okay, so I got some intel, but not what we wanted exactly, because it caught this, and CD shows them the green foot.
Huh. Did it show anything else? Or was it knocked over immediately?
Or did it show anything of use to us besides the fact that there was a foot there?
Before that, you saw that they are setting up a machine that you don't recognize in that building.
CD shows them the machine, also the captures of that.
It's worth noting that, like, in front of the building are the scanners. Like, they look kind of like metal detectors, but in an arch. So those are something that you would recognize. That's the kind of thing that, like, a lot of high-end shops or fancy places have those, where it's like, you may only enter here if you have X amount of capital worth of upgrades. So it's got one of those that you recognize, and then the machine they're assembling in the building is something else that you don't recognize.
Weird.
This building appears to be the place where the law enforcement ball is taking place, and you can see that there are people getting things set up there.
So when I said that CD was setting up a camera, it was just I thought that CD would try to set up a camera where the weapons were supposed to be, but I guess
The weapons are supposed to be in this area as well. You just don't
So-
know the exact location.
okay. Okay, so
I was begging
Okay,
off
now
the
I
hope
get
that
it.
this is some sort of subterfuge for it.
It could be. Unfortunately, our gather information rolls did not go super well in that direction.
No,
but we did see green feet,
and that is all we need.
which is going
it
on
might be a hopping creature. That's true.
it is now going on CD's conspiracy board.
When you go to put it on your conspiracy board, you are reminded of the strange sightings you heard about, a few days back. Well, not a few days, a few weeks back at this point. There was a job that you were offered at one point about strange sightings that had been happening around the sun, particularly in the inner layers, but you did not take that job.
Strange sightings of
Just strange sightings of something that people
Okay.
didn't recognize.
Yeah,
not this.
Don't know.
potentially. Well, that's alarming to say the least. I certainly hope that there's not a third party at play beyond us.
Okay, let's get this started.
All right.
What type of thing are this going to be? Is this going to be? It sounds like maybe deception or something else.
I think deception makes more sense than infiltration.
Wait, are we doing the
The
makeover?
engagement. Oh, I'm
We'll get to
sorry.
the makeover during the mission, but for now we need to
Okay.
do the engagement and actually get to the mission.
It's true.
We're gonna
So-
lie like liars.
So to plan your type of plan, you've got assault, deception, infiltration, mystic, social, and transport. Assault is do violence. Deception is lure, trick, or manipulate. Infiltration is trespass unseen. Mystic is engage mystic way or power. Social is negotiate, bargain, or persuade. And transport is carry cargo or people through danger. Thinking is deception.
Yeah, I think it's deception because we're definitely going to be seen.
And the method of deception is that you're going to hack the scanners to make it seem like you have enough capital to get into this party.
That was my understanding.
Okay, so engagement roll. Oh, loadouts. What kind of loadout are you going with here?
Light?
Yeah, I guess light makes sense
Yeah.
since we're gonna wear costumes.
That's true. So we start with one die for sheer luck, which hopefully we'll keep that one. And what else are we going to add for our advantages? Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Yes, we are
Certainly think
wearing.
it's bold.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's 2. Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Nah.
You've got one factor it's contingent upon as far as I can see. Can you hack the scanners? Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? I don't think their scanners that they use to keep out the pores are their weak point. But it's important to them not to have the pores around, so not for that.
would they be weak because they're more busy celebrating than paying attention to?
I'm not sure that that's because it's asking about the detail here in particular, not the actual plan.
Okay.
All right, we're still at 2. Is the target strongest against this approach? Do they have particular defenses or special preparations? They don't have special preparations against people hacking the scanners that we know of, so we're still at 2. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? You got help from your contacts, Augustus, to get you into this party, so that's 3. Are there any other elements you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target will give you it's a higher tier target, so I'm going to take one of your die away. Situation in the system that makes this operation more or less tricky. You're not wanted yet, so you're at 2 dice.
Well, all right.
Let's roll this engagement.
The most we can hope for at this stage.
5, risky. Okay, you are in a risky position when this plan begins. You have made it to the entrance of this party. It is mandatory that you be in the sim at this point. As you approach the scanners, you see that they are lined with guards. The guards all look the same because the avatars for all law enforcement officers are identical. They just have different numbers across the blank visors of their helmet. And those numbers are how you tell one from the other. So that's like the Hull Patrol, and in this case, actually it would be Thetacom, because they're the private security force. So you'd see Hull Patrol walking around, and Thetacom is here guarding this area. And of course, there are some poor Section Blue folks who don't get to go into the party who are manning the scanner as well. All of the law enforcement bigwigs are here, which means all the levels of law enforcement are at this party, which is why this is a particularly daring plan, perhaps. You get up to the scanner, and as you are attempting to hack into it, what makes this situation risky is that you see, just beyond the archway, a person that you don't really want to see at this time.
YOLO Swaggins.
Why would you not want to see YOLO Swaggins?
Because I'd be very confused if he were in a police convention.
Mike has a point.
The person you see is, in fact, General Griefer himself.
Oh, God.
General Griefer is milling about, glad-handing people. He's, chuckling at jokes that may or may not actually be worth a chuckle. He's an imposing figure. He's wearing a military uniform. He is, well, we know all about General Griefer, right? His military uniform, which is, standard urban colors, gray, black, red. He has got, let's see here. General Griefer is from where? Right, General Grievance. So he's got his posse of cronies with him, the General Grievance. Yeah, so he's here. And that's what makes the situation risky, because he at least knows Augustus by face and shape and avatar and so on and so forth. So you are running against the clock to try and get in there and get past Griefer. So not only do you have to deal with the scanner itself, but you're going to need to find some way to avoid Griefer's notice, whether it's through your fabulous costumes or some other method of deception or escape.